Hello everybody, another career advice question for a video request, and hopefully it'll help you out. This is in regards to whether one should join the military, but it's a more interesting question, just, I don't know what to do, should I join the military? It's about learning the skills that the military will teach you in terms of life survival, like killing, filleting, stuff like that, not just, doing push-ups and eating, right, that kind of thing. But he's a different kind of character with a different kind of... He's in China. Very interesting fellow, actually. But hopefully you can learn something from him. Dear Clary, Mr. Clary, thank you for your response. Also, follow-up question I'm trying to succinctify here. Joining the U.S. military would be a very time-consuming endeavor, as it is very difficult to join them without citizenship. That's not necessarily... I know you provided the link about how it's difficult to join the U.S. military. But with your skills, multilingual in the particular languages you speak, I'm trying to keep it anonymous, the U.S. military would probably be very interested in you. And I know we got a lot of foreigners, men primarily, but there are some ladies as well, where you speak all these languages. Some obvious ones that would be of interest to the U.S. security and military would be Arabic, Farsi, Russian, Chinese rather. Don't just limit yourself to your respective country. The United States would and you guys all email me and we talk over the internet and Facebook or whatever. Your English is very good. There's no problem. So what I would, all of you should consider that. And I know there's some moral ramifications. I know, why be killing people? You maybe wouldn't be. You might actually be saving some people's lives, I know everyone likes to paint the United States military and our security network as this big, broad brush of evil. Last I checked, we kind of saved people from 2 world wars. Made South Korea pretty free. I think they're pretty happy. Well, some of them still got their panties in a bundle over there. So don't... you could join the Russians. Well, the Russians, there were a lot worse places you could join, all right? There's a lot more militaries that have a lot worse reputation. So, anyway, I understand your concerns, but just consider it. Anyway, I'm not really comfortable with that thought, as the U.S. is turning into a police state and the imperialism is a topic for itself. The German Special Forces, KSK, are as good as all the others of the leading nations. They're getting trained partly by the U.S. and Norwegian Special Forces and the SAS, and I have heard that they enjoy a good reputation in the world. Okay, so he's native German, and so he may want to go. Maybe that's fine. And I would have all the benefits you have in the U.S., free education, healthcare, etc. You misunderstood me about the playboy lifestyle. Again, I told you he's an interesting fellow. I don't really care about chasing girls. My question was, should I use my 20s to learn how to become a sufficient warrior with survival and combat skills, or should I become rich in China? Is it worth to postpone money for additional useful fun skills to have? I answered this myself, but I'm still would like your thoughts on that. I'll answer that first before it goes in this one. Assuming you can always go back to China and become rich, I would say go into the military, whichever one, and learn these skills. Not just for the survivalist special forces and combat skills. Those skills you can actually kind of, I don't want to say teach yourself, but you can take training. There are places that will teach you how to be a marksman. There's boot camps for survival. You could just go out and do it. My hiking, I've learned a lot from hiking and mountaineering and all that other stuff. Now some anal retentive person will come in. You don't really do mountaineering. Shut up. Oh, there's the siren. Thank you, WBL. No tornadoes coming, but yes, it's noon. But the reason in the previous email I gave him that I still recommend the military is for young men, you gotta belong to something. For me, it was the police department. For other people, it's their job or their career. For some people, it's a hobby. Again, I picked up dancing and whatever. You gotta belong to something. And the military will become that family that you need. And there's so many other things you can learn in the military. Like you mentioned, free tuition. That's going to help you run your business. IT, if you get into like IT, and if you're going to do special forces, I don't know how you can't get into IT because it's very dependent on calling in the right strikes, computer networks, stuff like that. The additional training they're going to give you, the connections you're going to get, And then a whole host of other benefits. People like the military. So like if you come to the American Legion or you come to the United States, even though you may not be, American Legion, they're still going to respect you as a soldier. Soldiers have a lot of respect. Now, of course, there's a risk. You get shot. I know people that have genuine post-traumatic stress. There's people missing limbs and legs. Some people are just dead. Some people are vegetables. There is that risk. But don't just think that the only benefit of going into the military is just to learn how to survive and, become, what's the name? Jeremiah Jones. Look it up. Kind of survivalist guy. So there's that. So I think also the camaraderie, the lifelong friendships you're going to develop. I think that's something that can't be replaced with money. You asked me if I could ever have my friends back, from the police department again. I would. Not that we aren't friends. It's just that was it. That was the glue that held us together. And everyone graduated, went their own way. Now and you think that's going to last forever. It's not. But that is, I would trade in. I don't have a lot. I'd trade in whatever I got now to have that back and, have all those guys back. Anyway, so don't discount that social benefit of the military as well. Where is it? There's where we left off. What is your thought on the coming economic collapse? How bad do you think it's going to be? I'm very worried about that, which is why I want to join Special Forces to learn all the skills needed for a catastrophe like that. And we'll cut it off there to answer that one. All right. I don't know when it's coming. I don't know how it's going to happen. And I don't know how bad it's going to be. No one knows that. The problem is that mathematically, factually, economically, empirically, physically, whatever empirical adjective you want to use, we have an unsustainable economy. The collapse will come. My personal opinion is that the West is so strong compared to the rest of the world based on not what we do today, but what has been built up in the past, and we are relatively uncorrupt, that our currencies and our institutions will remain in relative tact. It will take a long time for the various evils of socialism, communism, feminism, radical Muslims, I think those are kind of the main ones. Laziness, sloth on the part of Westerners, entitlement. It's going to take a while to work that down. In my personal opinion, I don't think it's just going to collapse. Like one day we wake up, oh shit, what happened? Why is the whole place on fire? No, it could happen that way. Some big triggering event could happen. China could get pissed off. I don't know. But based on what I know about economics and foundations and infrastructure, it's not going to go like tomorrow. So, but you prepare for that anyway. Now, me personally, I have food reserves. I have some silver, not a lot, but some. I have some guns. I'm not a fanatical gun collector. A lot of people, got one guy, a friend of mine, he's got 600 guns. I'm like, what the fuck? What are you gonna lug that around? That's like 2 tons of metal. You're not even gonna. You don't even have ammo for all of them. Guns and ammo are heavy, by the way. If you didn't know, they're quite heavy, and you don't want to have 1,000 of them. So I take my precautionary measures. More importantly, I have a backup plan. I have a general plan. I know what I'm going to do. I have a plan B in case that doesn't happen or that doesn't work, and then my plan C is. Fuck it, I'm heading towards the city and fucking shit up. That's why, because I'm like, I've been pushed to the wall too much that if society collapses, and I can't do Jeremiah Jones and people come after me. It's like, look up my podcast on tasing fatties at the Minnesota State Fair. That's what's going to happen. So, you'll learn that's those skills in the Special Forces, but you don't need to go to Special Forces and dedicate 12 years of your life to do that. So again, for all those ancillary benefits of the military, I still recommend the Special Forces. How is your life living the minimalistic approach and not having much money? It's great. I pay very little in taxes. I answer to no one because I have very little in expenses as well. I have all the time in the world, pretty much. I do this. I lift weights. I work out. Can fix my cars on the cheap. It truly is you're so brainwashed to think that money is the most important thing. And if you grow up poor like me, you think it is but then you realize you You don't need a big house. You don't need the key is freedom, to have your time, to have your life. If you couldn't, I remember when I was 22, I wanted nothing more than to work 80 hours a week at an investment bank and prove to them that I was worth $1 million payout every year. No, you couldn't pay me enough to go work at an investment bank. No, there's no way. Do you envy the people who are rich or friends of you who have a lot of money or do have deeper relationships as you don't chase the material life? Well, no, they don't have deeper relationships. Matter of fact, I'd say I probably have the most deeper relationships because you're not wasting your time at a fucking office or a cubicle, not spending time with your family, your kids, or your loved ones, your friends and family. In my case, I go out at least 3 nights a week and have dinner with my friends. It's wonderful. Weekends we get together. Wish I had more. I had God, we had 200 people in college. It's great, but anyway, that's a different story. And no, I don't envy people who are rich, or my friends who have a lot of money. One, because most of my friends don't have a lot of money. I like hanging out with poor people. They're more honest. I like them. I got one guy. I got 2 guys actually who are millionaires. And you know what? It's like, yeah, that'd be cool to have that money. Sure, I wouldn't mind being able to fly. I wouldn't mind another guy. He's like that millionaire next door. You never know. Dude drives a piece of shit Kia like me. Guy's got like $3-4 million cash. That's not real estate holdings. That's cash. Yeah. What would I do with it? You know, I maybe go to New Zealand. Maybe I'd fly a P-51 Mustang. I don't know. But there's not much. Once you get old and once you do all you want, you'll realize that the real value in life is, again, talking and having conversation and experiencing other humans. That's it. And I already got that, so, you know, about the only thing a couple $1 million or being richer would do would shore up my personal finances, which are pretty shored up anyway. You know, it would give me a reserve. I guess I'd have a savings account. But, yeah, you know, my house would be paid off. Okay, so the mortgage might go away, but, you know, I got rental property, so it's subsidized already. I like the minimalist lifestyle. That's why I write about it. That's why I write about it and enjoy the decline. And Bachelor Pad Economics. I'm very nice. It's not for everyone, but yeah, thinking and putting things in your context. You know, it looks great to be that playboy with the penthouse in downtown Shanghai and all your ladies coming around. And there's that guy. What is he? Former special ops. He's always got chicks and he plays poker. That's cool. You know what? It's a pain in the ass after a while. Not that I ever had that lifestyle, but I imagine that guy just probably wants nothing more than a night off where you could just sit and relax. But he may be a different sort of fellow. No, the question he asked if it's too personal. It's not too personal. You asked that. I'm very interested in what other viewers have to say in the comments section, so please put your answer on YouTube video. Yeah, so there you go, guys. Give your thoughts, your observations. Like to stay anonymous, really like your service. Look forward to hearing from you sincerely, and I won't mention his name, but from Germany, so that's wonderful. So anyway, yeah, so there. Those are the answers, observations. I hope it gives you some guidance. Again, you got to get it out of your system. That's the only final thing I'll say. If I tried to go talk to myself back when I was 22, there was no talking me out of working my ass off, proving I was the best, I was going to go make that money, da-da-da-da-da. And you may have a special, unique situation in China where the opportunities are there. You know you can do it. Okay, good, follow up on that. You know, don't not make a lot of money if you can. But realize in the end, it's not going to replace a motorcycle ride through Spearfish Canyon. It's not going to replace a hot girl dressing up in lingerie, making you coffee and lounging around the house. It ain't going to make up for playing fetch with your dog. It ain't going to make up for having coffee with your buddies. And it ain't going to make up for smoking cigars and drinking whiskey at the cigar lounge. It just really isn't. You know, so I would not put that much emphasis on the money. But, one final thing. You can always go back and make money. That's the final thing. Like, you go do your stint in the military and you're 40, then you got a little bit of peppered beard stuff going on like I do now. People start taking you seriously, even though you're no more intelligent than you were before. But yeah, I think you could do both. So, you know, do the special forces, do the military, but then also, when you get out, you'll be even better equipped to make more money. So that's all we got. Toodles.